Aloha from the beach on Maui, Hawaii. My name is Anjali Trice, and I am the author of the Conscious Education Project, 21 Qualities to Create Dynamic Learners. And today I'm going to give you a brief review of the quality Understanding Fear. And understanding fear is quality number 3. So I'm going to read to you a little bit from the Facilitator Manual, just so you can hear the way that I describe fear. Fear is debilitating and a restricting emotion that most times keeps us from using our creativity, discovering new things, trying new ideas, which is very, very important for students, meeting new people, or going new places. It holds us back. If we identify our fears, they can teach us about ourselves and we can grow to be better people. So that's what we do in this quality, is we identify our fears and we talk about them. We bring them out into the open. Identifying our fears releases them from being hidden, and then we are able to address them. Fear is an opportunity for growth. And that's another thing I talk a lot about with the students in this quality, is you're afraid? Well, let's look at this as a place to grow. How will we grow from this fear? And the more a person identifies and addresses their fear, the more they stretch their comfort zone, and therefore their whole life is stretched. They are open to new opportunities. When you identify and understand your fears, you get rid of them. If you let your fear dominate, then it causes you to close, shut down, and thus stop growing. And that's something else that our students are experiencing in their life, is growing. Everywhere they look, they're learning and they're taking in new ideas and growing. And we would like fear to be not stopping them from that growth. Fear is one of our most important qualities in the curriculum, because here we introduce many conscious education techniques. So techniques are activities that we do, and they're tools that I use to teach the students how to manage their lives and become more powerful in their lives. The first technique that we study in the Conscious Education Project is called the Physical Neutralizing Technique. And what I do is I share with them some of the most common fears that are identified. And what those are failure, death, rejection, ridicule, loneliness, misery, disappointment, pain, the unknown, losing your freedom, and public speaking. And I ask them if any of them have any of those fears in a big way. And if they do, we will use the physical neutralizing technique with that particular fear. Or we discuss, are there any other fears that you have right now that you totally know that are bigger than any of these that I listed? And then we use a physical neutralizing technique on that fear that the student identifies. Then the second technique that I teach them is called the scrambling technique. And again, that is a technique that you use with a belief. And we discuss what a belief is. And we have a whole list of beliefs that the students can choose from. And there's usually a belief that they get very quickly. Ooh, I'm not good enough. Oh, that's really a belief that I have. I'd like to scramble that one. So I give them general fears if they don't have any that they can choose from. I have a list in the book, or they have a chance to identify one of their own personally that they might really feel. And we use these two techniques on them, the scrambling and the physical neutralizing technique. Then I also teach them a gentle breathing technique. And you'll see that in the Facilitator Manual. And then there's a centering technique. And the centering technique they can use anytime with their eyes open or with their eyes closed. And that's a technique to bring them within themselves to feel really centered and really know who they are. And those are the techniques that they learn. Those are the 4. Now, we're here at the ocean on Maui. And if you pan and look at the ocean, you see how gorgeously beautiful it is. And you can see people enjoying themselves in the ocean and walking along the beach. But there's also an element, a lot of people have fear of the beach because they've heard things or they've had their own personal experiences happen. So the beach is a place where we use caution. And caution is a very, very healthy quality to have. And within this quality, we talk about, within number 3 here, understanding fear, we discuss caution and how caution is healthy and a very, very good tool to have in our toolbox. But fear is false evidence appearing real. And that is something that we would like to be stronger with and more aware of. Now, if you notice, I am bald. I have alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune condition. And I used to hide it and live in fear that someone would know and that they wouldn't like me because of it. And finally, I discovered that that was false evidence appearing real, that it's not true that people aren't going to like me or be disgusted by me because I look different. And we talk about that also within this quality. So, that is a general overview of understanding fear, quality number 3 in the Conscious Education Project. Thank you so much, and aloha from the beach on Maui.